Isolation Help Bexley is a volunteer community group that came together in March of 2020 to try and help out Bexley and try and support those people who were vulnerable. My name is Emily and I am the social media manager for Isolation Help Bexley. Our 6 founding members, they kind of said, right, what can we do to help out? Isolation Help Bexley was born, they came up with this idea. Then suddenly it kind of just spread across the borough and they were like, why not? Let's see how many people we can help. Obviously we came out of lockdown in summer of 2020, but we kind of carried on because I think people realised, wow, there's actually a lot of people in the borough who are kind of isolated anyway, and it was kind of saddening to see that. So they wanted to kind of be good neighbours and encourage kind of people to help each other out. At the height, so kind of lockdown last year, there were around 800 volunteers. We put out leaflets because obviously a lot of the people who are most vulnerable don't really have a digital footprint. I think there was around 120,000 leaflets distributed across Bexley. It was like a huge effort, but I think that it was absolutely crucial. Without that, we definitely wouldn't be where we are today. But obviously it was also important to reach out to people who wanted to volunteer, people who might need help. Nowadays, social media is kind of how we do everything. So it was really important to have it influence the council and kind of the government. They give us information about COVID and like what the guidelines are and things like that, and we're trusted to share that information.
My name's Ram and I'm proud to be a member of Isolation Help Bexley. I've been helping out Isolation Help Bexley for just over a year. When I received the leaflet through the post, I'd just been through a really challenging couple of years with my son. I haven't worked for a long time. And I thought, this would be a really good opportunity for me to get out there and do something that's going to make a difference. I pick up food parcels and deliver to people in need. I also have a person in need who I shop for every week and do his prescriptions.
My name's Brandon. I volunteer for Isolation Help Bexley. My job is to get the medication, possibly some dog walking as well. I'm loving every second of it.
I think it's quite amazing what happens from somebody picking up the phone and requesting an order to the order actually being delivered. You need to consider if there's any allergies, or is it a family with babies, is it an elderly person? So there's so much more that happens to get it to the actual door. It's not just elderly people that need help. Elderly people, can't go out because of their age. It's young families, right the way through. Just the response when we deliver off the parcels, people are very, very grateful, and just talking to them, they are really appreciative of what we do.
I feel kind of lucky as I'm the social media manager. I kind of get to see all these messages that come through on Facebook when people find us, or they kind of come through on Twitter, and kind of the support we've had from people.
The ones that can't go out, then their confidence has been lifted because they don't have to worry about medication this day, but they thought, no wait, there's a few volunteers that are in the area that can get it for me.
I found a piece of paper that was posted into my mailbox and it said Isolation Help Bexley. At that stage I was heavily pregnant, I had really bad sciatica pain and I'm a chronic asthmatic, so I shouldn't be going out with the COVID lark. So I phoned it and they said, how many children do you have? And I told them I'm pregnant with my 4th child. They delivered me nappies, they delivered me wipes, loads of food, fresh food, frozen food. It was a very big help at the time.
I think they're really grateful for someone coming to help them, and it's really lovely, and a lot of our volunteers do go the extra mile. They found out it was someone's anniversary, and I think it was quite a significant one, and I think they got 2 scouts and they were playing instruments for them. This old couple, they were playing instruments for them, they had a cake for them, and you could just see by their reaction they were so excited. Also the everyday things of going and picking up the prescription that they need, or going to pick up their shopping. They're just so grateful, and I'm so glad that people in the community have come together to help out people who are in need.
When I had my 4th pregnancy and I was like 38 weeks, I could barely move, so at that point I wouldn't have been able to manage without it. They're absolutely amazing. I get on the phone and say, hi Michelle, the children said thank you for this, and even the driver at one point, he brought my daughter, my 11-year-old, some Pokemon pyjamas, and she really likes them. She lives in them to this day, she absolutely loves them.
There was one incident when I went to deliver a food delivery. It was to a gentleman who hadn't eaten for three or 4 days, and he was so grateful. He kept on kind of putting his hands together. He came up to the car, just kept on saying thank you, and that was quite emotional for me. I've never experienced, that in our community people are suffering that much, and there is that poverty.
I met a lady in Erith. She was like housebound, so she couldn't go out and technically get her medication. I was easy to outreach to that person. Seeing them and just visualising what they've been through is just heartbreaking, really.
Bexley is quite a large, there's lots of people there, and it's kind of hard sometimes to feel a sense of community. I feel like it's something that has really brought together very different generations, and I feel like COVID in general, it's kind of brought together everyone. We're going through a shared experience. It's something everyone is having to deal with the consequences of this.
It is really rewarding, and we are part of this community. We live in this community. It's just great to join some sort of support group and to give back in a positive way.
It's definitely really helped form a sense of community, which hopefully will carry on even when COVID is over and done with.
I have had some issues with depression. Having a schedule, something to do, getting out there, integrating with the team has been really good for me on a personal level, but also where I have had a dip, I've gone through some challenging times. The Isolation Help Bexley team have been very, very supportive and actually been on the end of the phone listening to me and basically helping me.
It's really built confidence in myself. You're giving something back to the community. It's a really good ambition as well. Ambition for me, but I'm sure it'll bring the ambition in you as well.
I just feel really good to be given the opportunity to be able to go out there, help people, be part of a team, a group, and really make a difference to these families who need support. Well, if I wasn't part of Isolation Help Bexley during the lockdown, I think I could have struggled a bit more with depression and feeling isolated myself.
Not only did it give me a sense of purpose right at the beginning when everything that gave me purpose had been taken away from me, and it's also been really nice to get to know some different people in the community that I wouldn't have known otherwise. It's something that I'm never going to forget, and being part of something that's really been able to make a difference has just been amazing.
I really hope that Isolation Help Bexley do continue. There are still a lot of people who will continue to need support and the help that we offer.
The bonds people have made, like I've seen messages in our kind of group chat saying, once this is all done, we've arranged with so-and-so, we're going to come round and have dinner. And it's kind of also making those connections not only for now, but also once all this is over. It's really nice to know those people who might not have had those social connections before are going to have someone afterwards. If you want to volunteer, it's open to anyone, and any way you can help is appreciated. Even if you know somebody that you think, okay, they're really struggling, maybe they do need someone to help out, or maybe you're helping someone but for some reason maybe you're going back to work, you can no longer really offer that assistance, you can get in touch on behalf of somebody to be able to get them that help and that assistance if they might need it. So anyone who needs our help can have our help.
Isolation Help Bexley, #Do It For Bexley.
Ensuring that no one self-isolating feels isolated.